Hey everyone, MrWartburg here, bringing you my review for Transformers 4. But before I get too far into my review, I thought I should share my thoughts on the first Transformers to illuminate a little bit of a pattern. Transformers 1, I thought, was a good Transformers story. There was some interesting interplay between Optimus Prime and Megatron, but it was really dragged down by a human element that was just awful. Transformers 2 had the same bad human element coupled with a bad Transformers story, making for an abomination of a film. Transformers 3 kind of got back to where Transformers 1 was, in that good, if not long-winded, Transformers story with, again, a bad human element that dragged the film down. And you'd think after 3 films, with that universal critique of the bad human elements, they could have figured it out for Transformers 4. But you'd think wrong. Transformers 4, I would put below on my ranking of all 4, Transformers 2. This was truly awful for me. So much so that I almost don't know where to start in reviewing the film. But my biggest complaint, and I'll start with that, is just the terrible dialogue in the writing. I mean, it's awful. When Optimus Prime, in the fight scenes, is saying the same line over and over and over again, in the same scene, no less, really pulls me out of it. I don't think they did a good job with any of the writing and the action scenes specifically. And the plot holes are all over the map with the action. And that's to be expected in a summer action movie and a Michael Bay movie. Marry those together, you're going to have some massive plot holes. And that is the case here. And on the human side of things, there's also just really bad dialogue. Really bad acting. When one of your leads is so annoying that while you're portraying him as a hero, I just want to punch him in the face all the time. That's a bad thing. From an acting standpoint and a writing standpoint. And how he shows up in the movie it's a head scratcher, to be honest. It really is. Now the other Transformers, the only one that comes back is Bumblebee, which is nice, but also they kind of do nothing with him. I mean, there's this weird subplot where he's getting replaced by the human Decepticons, which are in the trailers, and that's not a spoiler. But again, they don't really give him a voice. His personality's not really Bumblebee. Like, you don't get to see him all that much. The other Transformers who show up are all new. None of the other ones come back. The only good one that you really care about is voiced by John Goodman, the Hound. He's like the large ammo guy with the beard in the trailer. But the other ones you just don't care about. Like, you don't really get a sense to know them. You barely even know their names. And I only knew John Goodman's character's name because they say it pretty clearly at one point near the end of the movie, which seems like a writing mistake, or maybe they cut out a scene where they say their names more clearly and introduce them better. They really didn't do too good of a job. Other parts of the movie, I mean, they got 2 great villains. Lockdown's awesome, and like his backstory on why he's in the movie is really cool, and with some great setup for the 5th movie if they make one. They also introduced Galvatron, which, if you know from the show, is actually Megatron in a roundabout way. But you can't have both of those in the same movie, and it shows here, because this movie feels like it's 2 or maybe 3 movies in one, in like the we're gonna throw everything in the kitchen sink mentality, and it blows up, but not in a good way. And like I said, there's some really good setup for number 5, dealing with the creation of the Transformers, without getting too much into spoilers. But I honestly have to say, I'm not going to go see it if Michael Bay's still the director. He doesn't understand how to tell a really awesome Transformers story. When we can get the Lego movie in a year where Transformers 4 comes out, again, a movie based on a toy, and it's awesome. Why can't we get a Transformers movie that has a great story? There's a lot of lore, comic books, TV shows that you could pull from for Transformers, and they're just not doing it very well in any of the movies. I would not put any of those other movies, the first 3 speaking specifically, on a high level. They were good, but not great. And there are some great Transformers stories they could adapt. And I hope in the 5th they get there. There's a great setup for it. I just don't think Michael Bay's the guy to get us there. So that's my review for Transformers 4. If you saw it, let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, click like if you like the video, share it if you want to, and subscribe to the channel. For the No Community, I'm MrWartburg.